Hello, I'm Jody Wolf, and you're watching Exposed, September 23, 2018, 12:18 a.m. Birmingham. And topic is evolution. Do you believe in that? Well, there's two kinds. I'm going to tell you about the second kind at the very end of this topic. It'll be a one-liner. But the first is the process by which different kinds of living organisms are thought to have developed and diversified from earlier forms during the history of the earth. They got smarter. The gradual development of something, especially from a simple to a more complex form. Well, we started out as just mud, probably caked on and caked on and caked on, and this mud kept have these planets strike this earth, and some would drop off a little bit of water, and some would drop off a little bit of this, a little bit of that, and then one of them dropped off something that was moving, and it was probably smaller than you could see in a 1,000-time powered microscope. But that's big enough. It was moving. And then it took millions and millions of years for this little thing to inhabit that piece of mud or clay. But it rained on it, and it kept raining for millions of years until all of a sudden it whittled that clay down into a form. No one knows what that form looked like, but we all know what the ending or the final result is. Well, you start at the bottom, you got little toes with toenails on them. That's really odd. I mean, toes. What are toes for? And that's what we call them. And then you got something attached to them they call feet. Wow, man. What are they good for? And then it keeps washing away the mud and the dirt, but leaving the living stuff. And the living stuff would find the other living stuff, and they would kind of meet up somewhere in the middle and start screwing, and it keep building. And then you got legs. You get up to your knees, and they say, "Wow, look at these things!" But what can they do? Well, they just keep having sex. These little things mating, but they're still tiny, about 10,000 times smaller than what you can see in a microscope. But they're alive. The little motors running around inside each other. Something's propelling them. But it keeps raining for millions of years. It keeps raining, and it keeps washing. And then all of a sudden, you have knees appear. And then you have legs up to your hips appear. Wow, look at these things. Boy, they can move about. They can outperform any animal alive. They can do all kinds of things. But what are they good for? Well, let's keep washing and raining and over millions of years and see if we can't, get something else. So then you get a midsection of the body. And what's that midsection? Well, it's expelling some stuff. We don't know what it is. It's just expelling stuff at two ends. It looks like pollution of some type or used up energy, waste. Then millions of years it keeps washing, and then it builds a midsection here. And wow, there's what's being expelled. This little thing there is creating energy because something's dropping down in it. Well, these little motors just keep running and messing and mating with each other, and it keeps raining, and these things are still developing and multiplying by the millions and tens of millions inside this form, and even by the billions, or it keeps raining on them. It keeps raining. And they keep washing away, and they keep washing away until they get to arms. Wow, you got arms, you got a midsection, a belly, you got hips, and you got legs, you got feet, you got toes, and wow, what makes it run? What makes it move? Well, it keeps washing and raining on it millions of years. It keeps washing away the mud, but it leaves all the living organisms on it. These things that keeps mating and developing and just messing around with each other, and there's billions and billions of them. And then you finally have a final head appear, and this head, that's the motor. That's the main engine right there. It tells everything what to do and when to do it, how to do it. And it tells your thing inside your body to send these particles throughout the body that makes everything move, makes everything glow, makes everything work, and makes everything energized and it's a liquid. It's red. It flows through the body at the rate of 100 gallons an hour. And it keeps circulating. And this is the pumper. So you got a master up here on the top, and he's using a pumper to make everything else work. But these things just keep creating. Then you got a nose pop up, a mouth pop up. You got eyes, and it can see. Millions and billions of years go by, and look what you have. Finally, and it grows a tallywhack. What in the world is that used for? Well, we don't know yet. But then you got billions and billions of years go by, and then it grows another one just like it, except it's got bigger chest and it ain't got no tallywhack on it. So what are they used for? Well, we can quit washing away the mud and the dirt and the grime and leave all the little things that was left there, the living organisms, the things that came from billions of different places around the heavens, and stop building and let them kind of plug in and reproduce themselves, and they'll make each other. That's how we become. We got one part in us that's so tiny that it takes a 10,000 times microscope to see it moving around, propelling. But inside of it, there's more that you can't see. And when you get to this thing called an atom, and it's moving like a hot rod, what's moving it? There's got to be something inside of it to make it move. Well, that's the problem. Nobody knows. So we'll leave that and go to the second evolution. This is one I believe in more than the first. It's called the evolution engine, and it's a Harley Davidson. That one is real. The first one is hogwash. Except man was created by a being, not by rainwater and mud over billions of years. Jody will